Hello there everyone, it's me Harry, and today I'm going to be talking about the news that, well, I felt like it was the perfect time to finally talk about ITV again, because remember back in November when Sky had talks with Sky to essentially sell their TV assets and the ITVX streaming service over to them, whilst ITV would just be a production company from then on? Well, hello there everyone, it's me Harry, and today I'm going to be talking about the news that, well, I felt like it was the perfect time to finally talk about ITV again, because remember back in November when Sky had talks with Sky to essentially sell their TV assets and the ITVX streaming service over to them, whilst ITV would just be a production company from then on? Well, they officially announced it today. Yep. ITV's assets, not the programming assets, not ITV Studios as a whole, that's going to remain separate. So, shows like This Morning, Loose Women, Corrie, and Emmerdale are not going to be part of this. They're all, but yeah, as I said, the channel and ITVX are going to be part of Sky. So, Sky is going to, well, basically be in the mainstream TV realm for the first time. I know Virgin Media Ireland has done that when they bought the TV3 channels a couple of years ago and rebranded them as Virgin Media 1 through 3, and I think they added a fourth one. So, and I feel like that this will probably go through in the end now. I think I might retract my claims from before, but it might not. Everything might remain the same, but I think what's helping is that NBC Universal is going to be split off from Comcast, and Sky is going to be included. So, in that case, it will be basically an NBC Universal thing for ITV. And then pretty much all their programming will just be acquisitions from then on, or free airings of shows that Sky have already commissioned. Maybe Saturday Night Saturday Night Live UK will probably be one of them that would air on ITV or something. Because it's been doing very well on Sky One, since Sky have relaunched that in place of Sky Showcase and Sky, I've forgotten the other name. So yeah. And now, I'm going to go over a little few updates on entertainment shows. I'm not going to go through all of them, but I'm going to go through most of them. So firstly, Millionaire Hot Seats being renewed. I wasn't surprised because it worked out in the UK. Well, if it worked out in Australia, where it lasted something like 15 years and then was recently revived, then it surely worked in the UK. It was at least better than Fastest Finger First. Anyhow. Another thing I'll mention is that, well, you know the crummy reality shows that ITV have been airing lately? Well, the Summit has been axed. To no surprise, it didn't do very well in the ratings. It was one of those shows that ITV just held off and just aired it in a slot, hoping that people would watch it, but obviously they didn't. The British Soap Awards are gone for good. Well, considering they lost Philip Schofield, that's not much of a surprise, considering he's probably never going to come back to TV. But then for a terrible show, Ramesh Ranaghan's Parents' Evening got renewed. Like, what even is the appeal in Parents' Evening? Like, it's nice seeing celebrities and their mum or dad or whatever, but it's just the same kind of humour that you'd see in every other show like this, in terms of, you get what I mean, sex jokes and swearing. Like, I know, like, you might think that I'm too wimpy to watch these kind of shows, but, like, but that, actually, the main reason is that Ramesh and his mother don't really have much, of a on-screen relationship. It just seems like that Ramesh's mum, who I've forgotten the name of, Shanati or something, it just seems like that she's just in the background of the whole thing. And as I said, I just think that hearing sex jokes and swearing every single time just gets really annoying. Like, you can express your words without making vulgar jokes all the time. That's why I like watching animation. Oh wait, adult animation is even worse at that. Shock value used to be great. And then one renewal that I was really surprised at, because I wasn't too sure that it was going to get renewed, because I didn't think it did very well in the ratings, is Win Win, that People's Postcode Lottery funded game show. Yep, I was actually really surprised to hear that, because I thought it was just going to be a one-season wonder, but nope, it's not. And once again, Mel and Sue are returning for it. And then, the last thing I will mention is that The Voice UK is finally going to be airing. Yep, they held it off so much since they recorded it last year. And that both Danny Jones and Tom Fletcher aren't returning for newer seasons. That's if The Voice UK does get renewed for another season. I don't think it will, considering ITV held off this latest season for far too long. But anyways, that's all I really have to say about this ITV update video thing. Hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching, and bye for now. Hello there, it's me, Harry, and I'm ready for what all of you were waiting for. A review on a brand new ITV format. Something that could possibly take home the prize for the best show ever, or the lousiest show ever. What could it be? Let me explain. So, 2 years ago, Ant and Dec decided that they would end their ever-popular light entertainment series Saturday Night Takeaway for the second time. The first time they ended it, they tried doing other ideas like Push the Button, but that just never went through and they just brought back Saturday Night Takeaway. So, the second time the show went, it went off with a boom and in a rather explosive way. So, ITV, being desperate to find a successor series, decided to let the show's own producing team decide on the choice, considering In for a Penny had also been shelved. And their result? A hidden camera prank show where celebrities attempt to sabotage fake reality shows and win real money for the contestants taking part in them. And it's called Celebrity Sabotage. Is this going to be quite the show? Or is this going to be yet another stupid mistake coming out of ITV? But for now, let's meet the main stars of the show. Joel Dommett. He's a no-brainer because he's in the top 10 of ITV's favourite TV presenters, as he presents a lot of shows that they already broadcast, most notably The Masked Singer and the NTAs, which I've talked about before. Judi Love. She's a loose woman, and that's all I really know her for. Sam Thompson started off as a reality show star, then turned into a TV presenter, of which we've already seen that with other presenters we know of. And lastly, GK Berry, a TikToker who for some reason turned into a TV personality. The perfect example of a Gen Z host. It's that easy these days. You don't have to audition, you just have to make a TikTok and everyone adores you. Right. So with these celebrities, if you could call them celebrities, we head on to the shows themselves. They're all parodies of other shows like The Traitors or The Great British Bake Off, and yet the parody names just change one thing to make it original. Like The Great Kitchen Cook-Off. Like, is that all they could come up with? They could have come up with something much more less copying, like less of a knockoff than what it would already be. Ugh. But anyways, I decided to watch the first episode of the series because it introduces what the show's like, and I really didn't want to watch the dating show parody. Anything with Olivia Attwood in it is a no-go. I feel sorry for Matt and Emma Willis. They must be really desperate for good work at this point that they had to present a fake dating show. So, the person fronting the fake show in episode 1 is Sarah Davies, who presents a parody of The Apprentice called The Applicant, whatever you call it. I did forget to mention, but the hosts are in on the celebrities' jokes, so they make sure the contestants are unaware of what's going on. Okay then, so I've finished talking about what this show's like. Let's talk about what an episode is like. So the episode begins with a pre-intro segment Unsurprisingly, it's in slow motion and is in ultra widescreen. It introduces the hub of the series, the manor house, and what the show is technically like. Then after that, you have the intro. If there's a real song as its intro theme, you know what's going to happen. So we're introduced to the main foursome, and they talk about how interesting the mansion is as it's their first day. And already I'm awaiting until they get on with what they're meant to be doing, and that's pulling pranks on contestants. There's one part where they jokingly try and kill Judy Love, and then one makes mention that they're killing loose women. Now, a joke like this is meant to make the viewers laugh, but it's such a bad pop culture reference, even for something ITV makes already, that I'm willing to understand why it was ever meant to be funny. So the celebrities get their mission not to get sabotaged, and the computer states that they can't be a foursome. They need a guest sabotager. That's right! You can't just have the main cast, you need someone else to add in to the fun as well. So every episode has a guest sabotager helping the other four, and for this episode it's stand-up comedian Jo Brand. I honestly find it interesting that she's a lot older than the others, and yet she's a lot more mature than the others from what I've seen throughout the episode. That's until Joel shows her where the toilet is. You've got to be kidding me. So the contestants taking part in the Applicant, I'll just call it that, soon enter the house, and the celebrities make jokes about their catwalking. Yet this is an obviously scripted joke because it's done through slow motion effects. Like, they pretend that, special effects don't exist, but obviously this show shows that special effects exist. Ugh, stop with the inside jokes already. So, Sarah Davies talks to the contestants how the Applicant works, that it's 2 days long, and that the winner wins a golden briefcase containing who knows what. Spoiler alert, that's the only time you ever get to see it, and it's never mentioned again after that. So, as Sarah talks to the contestants, Sam and GK get the first mission, which is to throw bird poo onto the contestants. What? What? Are they writing this series for 10-year-olds, or are they writing it for people my age? So, let's just say all they do is throw white paint or something along those lines. It looks like yogurt, I don't know. And they decide to practice it on Judy first, for seemingly no reason, and she ends up wiggling her butt. And the others take note of that. As I said, is this for 10-year-olds? So Sam and GK head up onto the roof and do the most basic throwing imaginable. And then GK throws her spoon, and now she has nothing to throw that paint or yogurt on the contestants. Yep, somehow, just somehow, the bird poo or paint or whatever it's called ends up hitting one of the contestants on their shoe, and the contestants already win £1,000. Yeah, so the whole thing is that the contestants are going to get the money, and the celebrities must sabotage things so that they can win the money. The most that's going to be won in this episode is about £30,000, which is a lot, I guess, but it's all shared with the contestants, so yeah. So the contestant brushes off that a bird pooped on him, and that's when I started to believe the show feels a bit scripted, and that the contestants were in on the act all this time. And that's not a good start. And plus, having a show starting off with something very juvenile and childish isn't a good look. So, now the contestants are made to do a wedding shoot, and the next mission is for Judy to collapse a champagne tower whilst Joel and Joe disrupt one of the team's recording sessions as gardeners. It sounds a bit better, I guess. I think Judy's one sounds best. So Judy is struggling to hide away before she gets caught, and the whole scene just drags by for far too long. Like, the show's meant to be an hour long, including the adverts, but sometimes they just include scenes that only exist just to pad out the time slot. And then as soon as she's about to destroy the tower when the pretend bride and groom appear for the photo shoot, yep, cliffhanger advert break. Of course, what were you expecting from a reality show? When the part you were just about to wait happens, there you go, adverts. You have to wait, or, well, not wait if you're watching on demand or YouTube and you paid up. When will this be abolished? So after the break, she finally has the chance to destroy the tower, and that's exactly what happens. Another successful sabotage to the point the fake bride believes she broke the tower. yet she didn't even touch it. As for Joel and Joe, they cause havoc. There's absolutely nothing interesting going on in this. All they're doing is acting like idiots. How can I take this seriously if celebrities act like this? Wait, what do you mean I'm not supposed to take this show seriously and it's family entertainment? But to cut the corners, they were successful as well. At this point, I'm starting to wonder if they're going to successfully sabotage everything and call it a day. And as soon as the celebrities return back to base, another mission awaits them. Sam must swap the memory card in a suit of armor? The heck? Is this show becoming Adventure Time or something? So Joel makes a Strictly Come Dancing joke along the way and adds a horrible pun to boot. Is this going to be nothing more than lame pop culture jokes that weren't even meant to be funny to begin with? I don't think so. So Sam dresses up in a night costume, and once the camera is unattached, he dresses up in a night costume, and once the camera is unattached, he dresses up in a night costume, and once the camera is unattached, he steals the memory card. Then he struggles to get the helmet off. The contestants are about to come in. Advert break again. Okay. Okay. Contestants are about to come in. Advert break again. Okay. The contestants are about to come in. Advert break again. Okay. Then he struggles to get the helmet off. The contestants are about to come in. Advert break again. Okay. Advert break again. Okay. Again. Okay. Okay. Advert break again. Okay. I'll forget about those silly advert breaks. So, yeah, when the contestant does come in, she spends her precious time to get the camera off the tripod, once again to fill out that time slot. She showcases that she has recorded something, but has no idea why. Time slot. She showcases that she has recorded something, but has no idea why. To fill out that time slot. She showcases that she has recorded something, but has no idea why. Time slot. She showcases that she has recorded something, but has no idea why. Once again to fill out that time slot. She showcases that she has recorded something, but has no idea why. She showcases that she has recorded something, but has no idea why. The memory card was blank when she shows it to the people. She should have figured out that someone swapped the card, but nope, she doesn't. In fact, she doesn't even notice the fake bookcase door closing slightly. Yeah, the show is starting to feel like it's more acted out. And a shame, really. It could have been a lot better than this. Wait, what did I say? Why should I even be sorry? But aside from that, yeah, it's another successful mission. So the last task in the episode has the contestants split into two teams for more photo shoots, this time with a travel company. One's going paintballing, the other's doing health suggestions like yoga and brainstorming ideas on what to do. GK's mission has herself pretending to be the owner of a party store and ordering the team the wrong costumes. And in no time she does just that and states to Team Power that she only has girl costumes and that mission was over before it was started and the celebrities win again. Then comes likely the weirdest mission of them all. Okay, I spit you not. Joel must now disguise himself as an armchair so he can turn face powder mixed grape for the team doing the relaxation session. Alright, that's it. This show is really trying to be this funny, but it completely misses the mark in every way. ITV. You want to know why your viewers aren't watching your commissions? They're at car crash TV level. All you care about is your precious celebrities you paid thousands for to host programs nobody wants. This isn't a good replacement for Saturday Night Takeaway. In fact, it shouldn't even be called a replacement. This is just a low-budget, low-quality mess of a reality show. Ugh. Sorry for the rage, but what happens is, Joel's in this absolutely ridiculous costume, and he puts himself on a chair and, get this, Sarah Davies sits on him, and he states that a dragon is sitting on him. The heck? I think I need to rage again. In fact, this just proves to you that whoever's writing this show is targeting 10-year-olds. Can anyone explain to me what's so... This show becoming a venture on from the very start, but there would have been these shows. So even with these ones, it's still seeing the same faces you've seen so many times before. And you see why I prefer lesser known presenters and celebrities. And as I said, cartoons. Dragon Striker, anyone? Anyways, despite the fact that this show was an utter disgrace, I hope you enjoyed this review, and I'll see you guys next time. ITV, I'm still not done with you yet. Nowhere close.
I am not a contestant on my own game show. I'm here to...
Hello there everyone, it's me Harry, and this is a little update video on the previous ITVX video I did back in September for ITV's anniversary. So now we're going to take a look at what's been going on lately, and we're starting off with the live streaming section that has the fast channels and live streams of other ITV shows. So we're going to go over to this side first. It doesn't even list down what these channels, what the main channels are even airing right now for some reason. That's odd if you'd ask me. It's only the fast channels that list down anything. So this seems to be a new one they added in, featuring the Carry On film franchise, which ITV does own most of them. I think Studio Canal owns some of the others, but this one I think only has the ITV owned ones from what I could guess. And then it mentions that the film's a product of its time. There's this space thing, I don't know what it is. It's just a permanent live stream of what the overview of Earth is like. ITVX Kids has this, I don't know what this program is, it's probably some sort of live action thing. And of course the other channels aren't displaying anything for some reason. And then of course we have all the other main things you've already seen so many times before. The Love Island channel, the Chase channel. Probably that's still the reason why the show hasn't even aired on ITV Quiz yet, and Challenge as well, although the spin-off Beat the Chasers has. There's ITV Classics, which I'm guessing is probably archived programs from ITV Studios' library, or something along those lines. Only Way is Essex TV is still there. ITV Signed, with some reality show or something. Or daytime TV show, I don't know what it is. And there's Saturday Night Every Night. Why is Lingo airing on this channel? It doesn't even air on weekends, aside from the celebrity version. So why is it on here? Couldn't they have, you know, like Saturday Night Takeaway or actual proper Saturday night programs or something along those lines, and not just some daytime game show that ITV Quiz airs too much of already? I don't know. And then Comedy 24/7. Oh, they got Celebrity Juice. Haven't seen that on there for a while. Maybe I have, but I probably didn't notice. It's one of the later episodes before the show got axed. So it's got Laura Whitmore and Emily Attack instead of Holly Willoughby and Fern Cotton, who are in most of the series run. But it's still Lee Francis as Keith Lemon, so yep, it's still there. But at that point, I think I would say the show was on pretty much its last stand. Midsummer Murders channel is still there, and the Vera channel is still there. Yeah, so it's funny, because I think I said this before, but there used to be a lot of fast channels on ITVX, but then they got rid of most of them and cut them down completely. So the only ones I know that are still on there, have been on there since the beginning, is this one, and this one. I know Saturday Night Every Night is occasionally alternated. I don't know for this one, or I think the Vera channel's been there since the beginning. But now, let's take a look at some other things that they've got. Let's go into categories and see what shows they've added in recently. Yeah, they're adding in more Disney Plus and Hulu programs now. A bit like how Disney Plus is adding in ITV programs because of the deal they're doing. They got a bunch of old Corrie episodes. I know they had the first episode of Corrie airing on ITV back during the 50th anniversary in 2010. That was nice. And that was to celebrate the live show. You know, with the tram crash. Audience with Corrie. I don't know when this was from, but then the rest, it's got bunches of old episodes. Pretty certain my dad would enjoy all of this because he still likes the old Corrie episodes. So continuing on, there's Benidorm, which I think reran on some other channel. I've forgotten the name. There's Fat Friends. That show gained like controversy when some channel reran it, and then they promoted James Corden's major appearance in it, even though obviously, you know, he was a major star in the show, but it wasn't like he was the biggest name on it. It was most likely, I don't know anything. Yeah, that's drama and whatnot. Documentaries and lifestyle. Let's see what they have added in that's new. Faked Hunting My Online Predator. Some documentary series about online friendships and whatnot. Dermot's Taste of Ireland. Ugh. Still can't forgive you, Dermot O'Leary, for what you said on the NTAs. You're still defending this morning through all the mistakes ITV have made about it? I don't know. Alison Hammond, Love of Dogs. Yeah, I don't have anything to say about this. It's there. I would say that if ITV was smart enough, they could have just ended the show after Paul O'Grady's death as like some sort of like well, I've forgotten what word I'm trying to say here. In loving of his memory, but still, it's nice anyway, I guess. One of their endless Olivia Atwood programs, very Gen Z-esque, having her battle against cyberbullies on the internet, like most people have to deal with all this time now. Kate Garraway's life stories. I don't know how long ago she took over from Piers Morgan on this. Was it like 4 years ago or something? I don't know. There's a bunch of other stuff. Long Lost Family. What's that? Is that Davinia McCall or something? I think it is. 7-Up collection? What's that? Is that an old show or something? There's the Tonight programme. Don't know what this is. It seems like it's some special or movie or something. Of course. You can't go with a travel program without Hungry Bear Media coming in with another season of Bradley and Barney Walsh's Breaking Dad program. This show's probably still going to go on even to this day. And still, I would say this. They work together on here, but not so much on Gladiators. I still think Barney still needs to know how to be a good presenter. Like, he's trying a bit better, but he still just acts very wooden. And it just seems like the only reason Hungry Bear Media even hired him to begin with was because of his dad, and that's it. It doesn't mean, like, you know, son and dad kind of combos do work, because they do. You know, like Martin and Roman Kemp when they did that daytime TV show, and they've done, I think, a podcast as well, but Roman Kemp's a good presenter, so, yeah. Life and Death of Lily Savage, so this is like a Paul O'Grady tribute documentary thing, as it's got her Lily Savage persona as well. Thunderbirds, you can't go wrong with that. You can't go wrong with any Super Mario Nation production by Jerry Anderson. Obviously, you know that, because I know one of my own online friends is a big fan of Jerry Anderson Productions. Bullseye reboot. I think that's been renewed. The last time I checked. I could have done an ITV update video, but there's not really been much news going on at the moment with ITV. I did hear somewhere that Holly Willoughby is doing this new thing for some... I think it's a streaming, this new started streaming thing that Dan Baldwin is involved with. Well, considering, if Holly Willoughby can't get any work anymore, well, she'll just have to ask her hubby to do something. Let's look at the kids section. Let's see what else they've added in. Be Cool Scooby-Doo's still there. I don't know how long this will be on there until CBBC gets it, because they've lately been getting a lot of Scooby programming in other Warner Brothers shows recently. They've stopped airing Teen Titans Go. Oh, Scooby-Doo and Guess Who's up there as well. And there's Barbie, Thunderbirds A Go, The Loud House, Mario Bros. Movie, Yu-Gi-Oh! Go Rush. So yep, another Yu-Gi-Oh! TV series. Yeah, look, Hannah Montana. And I'm guessing they're promoting that because of the 20th anniversary and the reunion special. But it's for the Disney Plus deal. Oh, Teen Titans goes on ITVX as well. It's only Series 7, though. CBBC, I think, has the earlier series. Inspector Gadget reboot. Zack Storm. Bunch of other programs I don't really care too much about. Lots of Scooby programs. But it's only the newer ones. Lots of Barbie stuff. I'm guessing Mattel decided to give a lot of their old Barbie movies to them. I think they've got all of them. Films, so there's the 2016 Jungle Book film, Barbie again, Coraline, Box Trolls, Paranorman, all the luckier films, which Anime Limited now has. I think that's a new show that's based on the Bad Jelly the Witch book from... this is produced by Wild Brain, I think. Hero Inside, that's a show that did air on Cartoon Network a little while ago. So yeah, the kids stuff is still interesting. They've still got a lot of the preschool stuff as well that used to be on ITVB before they got rid of the Little B block. So there's Pingu in the City, there's Sooty, there's Pocoyo, there's that Teletubbies Let's Go thing, the Bob the Builder reboot. Why would you want that on there? And why would you want Teletubbies Let's Go on there? And what's this? I don't know. It's nice seeing Pocoyo on ITV again. Because, ITV used to distribute the show and then eventually they ended their deal with Zinkia, who used to own the IP, but it's now owned by some AI company. And look at all of this. Blippi? Why is there so much Blippi on there? Ugh. Moonbug really milks out this program way too much. Now, let's go over to entertainment and reality. I don't really care too much about... I'll look at comedy. See if there's anything interesting on there. There's some stand-up programs. I think these are mostly American comedians. And look, there's the Around the World in 80 Days film that Disney released in the States. That was a big box office bomb. And it doesn't seem like ITV's helping that it was a box office bomb. Ah, Mr. Bean, you can't go wrong with him. A bunch of older comedy shows as well. American Dad and Family Guy. Yep, ITV, I don't think we'll ever get rid of those because Family Guy's still really popular, especially over here in the UK. See, news, nothing special. I don't need to look at that. And I think for the last bit of me looking over ITVX, we'll look at the entertainment programs. There's that new summit program that Ben Shepherd presents. I don't know what it's like. I don't know what the ratings are like. Do I see this lasting more than one season? Probably not. New BGT and BGT Unseen. There's the Brit Awards. There's 1% Club. Another Olivia Attwood TV show. There's the Oscars. More reality shows. There we are. Olivia Attwood. Bad Boyfriends. Ugh. Price of Perfection. Ugh. Like, how much is ITV paying her to make crummy reality shows like this? Like, hundreds and thousands or something? Ugh. Anyways, here we are. There's that other news show ITV recently premiered, Celebrity Sabotage. I don't care about that. I don't even know what I want to know what about it. If at all. More episodes of Jonathan Ross. And there's The Floor, which is just finished. Don't know if it will be renewed or not. Fletcher's Family Farm. Oh, and there's the game shows. And it's what you'd always expect. I don't really need to say anything else. There's dating shows. There's My Mum, Your Dad, which, for whatever reason, ITV thought it would be the next big thing, but they cancelled it after 2 seasons. I think they've exported it internationally as well, but I'm not sure if it's really become a big IP. There's Dinner Day, which was cancelled after ITVB closed down. The US version of My Mum, Your Dad. There's The Cabins. I think that's another show that's similar to The Traitors or something. I don't know. Now we have classic programs. Ah, good. Let's see. We have all this. We have Paddington, Dogton, Gadget, Jamie, Willow, Thunderbirds, Ivor, Children's Ward, Press Gang, Count Duckula. Ah, can't go wrong with that. Yeah, I'd binge watch all these programs if I cared about them, in which I don't. And of course, absolutely no surprise at all, ITVX legends Ant and Dec. Yeah, ITV is self-aware that they pretty much want to marry them. Like, for real. Like, you know, I know they've started up this new thing on YouTube, but that was a rebrand of the Saturday Night Takeaway YouTube channel that their production company operates now. But, seriously, you can't have too much Ant and Dec in this world, ITV. Focus on other presenters like, no, not Alison Hammond. No, not Dermot O'Leary. No, not any of the This Morning crew. Or just go with more lesser known or niche presenters. No, stop using the same people over and over again in your shows. Anyways, let's see what they got in this garbage thing. Playlist or whatever they call it. There's Accidental Tourist, which it's just an idiot abroad, but Ant and Dec style. And Stephen Mulhern. Yeah, I forgot to mention about him. ITV's third most popular presenter, I'd call him. Because he appears in everything as well. And ITV wants to marry him too. Limitless Win, of course. There's the story of SMTV Live. That aired 5 years ago. It's an SMTV Live reunion special with Ant, Dec and Kat. There's Saturday Night Takeaway with the last 3 seasons on it. I'm a Celebrity. There's some special that's named that's under the Saturday Night Takeaway banner. I have no idea what this is, nor do I really want to know. I don't know what... This is another special. There's Princess Truss Awards 2022. So, they're showcasing a really old, almost 4 years old award ceremony in this. Really, ITV? That's what I mean. This is what I mean by my theory. They're too obsessed with those two. Ugh. And then the Limitless Win Christmas special, which they're listing down as a separate thing, even though it's listed down as Series 2 Episode 1. That's the first of the Christmas specials. I did look at the one they had last year that had Amanda Holden and someone else in it. But yeah, that's once again ITVX. Terrible streaming service. ITV, terrible themselves. Will they ever redeem themselves? Of course they won't. ITV's still going to make stupid mistakes. They're still going to commission programs we don't want and hold off programs for like a year before they even air. Like what they're doing with The Voice at the moment. Not as bad as Channel 5 are, but we'll get to them another time. Anyways, thanks for watching, and bye for now. Hello there everyone, it's me Harry, and this is my update video on ITV again. This time for February. So, as you've seen in last month's video, I mentioned about how ITV changed the daytime shows. They moved them, the production companies changed, and there were some brand new shows as well, and cancellations as well. So in this video, I'm going to be going over some more updates in terms of entertainment programs that I'm interested in, what's been cancelled, and if I really expected it or not, because ITV is still doing pretty badly. So, back in November, I made a video talking about how ITV was planning on selling its channel assets over to Comcast, where they would be under Sky. And I mentioned that such a deal likely wouldn't happen because of rivalry concerns and all that, competition. And now, as we've updated, as it's been updated, the talks have slowed down. So I actually have a feeling this merger of sorts isn't going to happen. Like, ITV and Sky have tried to merge before, but they weren't allowed to because of, once again, competition reasons. So even if they did try and merge again with the channels, just the channels, not the ITV studio production companies, that wouldn't have happened either. It just wouldn't happen. So that's that done, and hopefully I'll hear more news about it. They'll probably just say that it's finished or something. So now, let's talk about TV shows. Yay! That's the more important part. So one of the new shows that did premiere was Millionaire Hot Seat, which has been a big success in Australia. And now it's come over to the UK, where it aired in a 7:30 PM slot, which is a brand new slot ITV have been using to air shows from now on. So, Millionaire Hot Seat, well, it's pretty much the same show as Australia. Jeremy Clarkson's hosting it like he does with the original Millionaire. And there we are. So, like other shows that I've been in the 7:30 PM slot are It'll Be Alright on the Night, which it's probably just ITV burning off episodes of the show, because the copyright dates on these new episodes say 2024, so they were very likely held off until ITV could air them. And another thing is, another show that's also been airing in the slot is, if I can even remember it, Deal or No Deal, Banker's Best Battles, which is essentially the Tipping Point Best Ever Finals take for Deal or No Deal. There's absolutely no reason for it to exist. It's just a clip show. It's basically just showing once again that ITV's losing money and they're just commissioning Bonjay to do these spin-offs. Like, there's no reason for them to exist. So there you go. So that's the 7 PM slot, and not much else to say about that. And then next up is that I mentioned about the 1% Club having some new specials. So the Valentine's Day special aired last week, as of when I'm recording this. The kids special has not aired yet. But believe me, from the preview I already saw where they were teaching Lee Mack how to do the 6-7 dance. Please kill me. That is just going to be dated in no time. I don't really see many people even talking about the 6-7 dance these days. In fact, what the heck is it even meant to be? Generation Alpha really really needs to think of better things to do. Rather than just using TikTok all the time and YouTube Shorts and Instagram Reels and, more recently, AI-generated pictures of themselves that they just fork over the ChatGPT. Ooh. So there's that. Another new show that's going to be coming on, although it's sort of like a revival of a previous show, is Britain's Got Talent The Champions, which is like a best-of series that features previous contestants from previous seasons of Britain's Got Talent, and seeing which ones is the best of all. Because they previously did it a couple of years ago, and there you go, and the original Britain's Got Talent's returning in February. I think it's returning 21st of February from what I think, but I don't know for sure. It may have been held off or something, but I don't know. I think it's that day. So yeah, that's that. And Britain's Got Talent obviously is still going on strong, still being one of the biggest IPs from Fremantle Media and Simon Cowell. And alongside that, there's also Britain's Got Talent Unseen, which is the spin-off show. I don't know if it was on last year or not, but of course there was that BGT Reacts show that I talked about 2 years ago, or something along those lines, and I don't know why that even existed. And another show that's also being renewed, for absolutely no surprise to me at all, is Romesh Ranaghan's Parents' Evening. Now, my thoughts on that show, it's not good. I think Romesh Ranaghan and his mother really need better, chemistry with one another. And maybe make it a little bit more family-friendly. I know it's an adult show, because of the sexual jokes and the swearing and all that, but it really needs to be suited more as a show that the whole family can watch. Because otherwise it just feels like yet another dumb panel show with the same jokes you've heard so many times before. I get Romesh Ranaghan's a comedian, but sometimes we need panel shows, or, TV shows out there that aren't just panel shows, or shows that aren't exactly relying on vulgar jokes for the sake of being dirty. That's not how comedy works all this time. You can be funny without making sexual slurs or saying swear words over and over again, which is something that I do wish some comedians did learn. And another renewal, and this will be the last one I'll be talking about in this section, is Ant and Dec's Limitless Win, back for its 6th series in 2027. So, yes. And I think a 7th series is planned as well. I think they're being recorded at the same time. So, the Geordie twosome are going to be giving out even more money than ever. The biggest limitless jackpot ever. Which is sometimes I kind of wish was sort of like a better game show. Yeah. And now, let's go over to what's being cancelled. That's the most important bit, I'd say, of this video, because that means I can give out what I can give out. So the first cancellation is the British Soap Awards. So, basically what happened was, so back in 2023, Philip Schofield, who, originally presented the Soap Awards, he left ITV in disgrace, and then someone else took over. I've forgotten her name, and they decided not to do it in 2024, and then they decided to do it in 2025, and now for 2026, it's not happening again. So either ITV has decided to make it a bi-yearly thing, or they just don't have the money to run another British Soap Awards. ITV really is running out of money at this point. So, the next show that's also been axed, and this was one I was not surprised to hear being axed, was Jeopardy UK. And, yeah, there's a bunch of other daytime TV shows airing in its slot as well. But since I'd never heard anything about it being renewed, it didn't surprise me. And also because at the moment, CBS International, who used to hold the distribution rights to Jeopardy and Wheel of Fortune outside the United States, has recently gone into a lawsuit with Sony, who own properties. So maybe it's got something to do with that, but even then, Wheel of Fortune's still going on strong, and I think that show's been renewed, so maybe it's more to do with popularity or something. I don't know. And then last but not least is the one show that I knew was going to be axed regardless, because it did very badly in the ratings. And that is You Bet on Tour. I was not surprised to hear that it had been axed, because it originally aired on a Saturday time slot, and then it ended up moving to a Sunday slot because it was not doing very good in the ratings. Strictly Come Dancing was beating it. Mainly because it was in the wrong time slot to begin with, and now just ITV was just burning it out at the 6 PM slot on a Sunday of all things. And I'm pretty certain it was still being beaten in the ratings by other shows as well. So hearing that news didn't surprise me one bit. So yeah. Okay, then I bet ITV should come up with better shows rather than rebooting old favourites. Does this mean the Bullseye reboot will be renewed or not? Well, it's been going on, it's done quite well in the ratings, so maybe. But then the last thing I will quickly go over is The Chase Around the World, which has contestants battling against the chasers around the world. So it's a commission from a newly formed studio called Bright Entertainment, who I'm guessing are a new ITV Studios division, so kind of feels like a wasted opportunity. It could have been like a show where the many different chasers from the different incarnations of the show could be in it or something, but most of them probably don't know English, so that probably would have been quite difficult. But I don't know for sure. It could have worked, but still. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. Like, I haven't really been that angry that much in this, because, yeah, I know ITV's been doing stupid mistakes, but it's their downfall, not ours. They don't really care about the viewers, they only care about themselves, they only care about shows that people don't want, so, yeah, that's it. Anyways, hope you enjoyed this video, thanks for watching, and bye for now. Hello there everyone, it's me Harry, and this is my usual ITV update video, where I take a look at what ITV has been getting on with and things like that, as you've seen with my previous videos. So the last ITV video I did was the one where I complained about the ITV daytime shows airing on Christmas Day again, and they add Loose Women to the mix as well. And the fact that, why did they have to air on Christmas Day when the ITV daytime scene's being lowered in its budget? I have no idea, but we'll get to that later on. But we'll start off today with The Accidental Tourist, which was some TV special that aired on ITV a couple of weeks ago. So it had Stephen Mulhern being sent over to South Korea by Ant and Dec, and Stephen Mulhern is trying to, like, get over his fears or something along those lines, or putting his hand in a raw fish or whatever it was. I have no idea what it was. The special was boring. I don't even remember anything that came out of it, other than it being that and Stephen Mulhern being in the nude at one point. It's just safe to say that nobody really asked for it. But it didn't stop Mulhern, Ant and Dec, because as far as I'm aware, they're going to make another one at some point. So it seems like that this is not going to be a one-off thing, it's going to be a regular thing. But at least the good side is that they enjoyed making it. And I've done a full review on it on my IMDb account, so if you want to check that out, then check that out. So there's that. And on the topic of Stephen Mulhern, he recently uploaded a video on his social media pages, where he's taking selfies with like a bunch of Christmas characters, like like Buddy from Elf and the Muppet Christmas Carol and whatnot. And obviously it's AI generated, it's nothing but Gen AI slop. And it looks terrible. Like, how am I supposed to tell that Stephen Mulhern in the video when all I can see is a deep fake of him next to a bunch of really poorly rendered characters, when they're not even rendered because they're not even 3D models, they're just AI slop, of course. And Stephen Mulhern doesn't even know this, but these kind of videos are not harmless fun. These videos actually consume a lot of energy. So hopefully he doesn't do one of these kind of videos again, but I don't think he's going to listen to anyone who've called him out for this silly thing that he's done. So yeah, there's that. Now we're on to, once again, ITV's Christmas schedules. For some reason they decided to rerun the TikTok special again, but they did make a new one. Obviously, thank goodness, because that special was horrible. I think that was the lowest of the low ITV had. And plus, all the channels this year, they barely went over something like 8 million views. And it's mainly because of streaming taking over, because it provides what you want to watch unless it's purged. Yep, there we are. And once again, this is the schedule for Christmas Day, and I'll read it out. 6 a.m, Royal Carols repeat. 7 a.m, Good Morning Britain. 9 a.m, Lorraine. 10 a.m, This Morning. 10 p.m, Loose Women. 1 p.m, James Martin's Christmas Day. 3 p.m, The King. 3:15 p.m, Indiana Jones and the Raiders of the Lost Ark, which isn't even a Christmas film. 5:25, ITV News. 5:45 p.m, It'll Be Alright on the Night, now hosted by Tom Allen instead of David Williams, like with the prior specials, because he's been fired from a lot of places due to his behaviour. Then we have Emmerdale, Corrie, Bullseye, 1% Club, Ramesh Ranaghan's Parents' Evening. That Christmas special of that show was bad as well. Red One film and a repeat of the Royal Variety Performance 2025. So you get what I mean. This is just awful. Incredibly the most underwhelming TV schedule you could imagine for a Christmas day. Oof. And I have a feeling that in 12 months' time, it'll be even worse. Oof. And then, there we are. And now, I'm going to go over a show that has just recently premiered that actually had a very similar concept to a show that was very popular when ITV aired it last year, but then they decided to axe it anyway. And it's a show called The Floor that Rob Brydon is hosting. It's based on a Dutch format. A bit like pretty much most reality shows or game shows these days. You know, The Traitors is based on a Dutch format, and then Deal or No Deal is based on a Dutch format. Yeah, you get the picture. So it's basically 81 contestants trying to be dwindled down to one to win the jackpot. And it sort of sounds like, in my eyes, that it's very similar to 99 to Beat. That was hosted by Adam and Ryan Thomas, which was meant to be like their time in the spotlight, even though they were more like commentators of the show. But the show got axed, even though it actually did very well in the ratings. So, yeah, that's the end of that. So I've seen little bits of The Floor, and it's sort of similar in a little bit of a way, like the premise, but it's more of a general knowledge quiz of sorts, if you get what I mean. So, yeah. And I like the idea of it. I think it's been popular in other territories as well, like the United States, but I'm not sure if this is going to last another season as well. Some game shows these days on ITV are kind of unlucky to get more than one season. Wheel of Fortune is one of them that's quite lucky. And another game show that did recently premiere on New Year's Day was Time is Money, which is a new daytime game show hosted by Sarah Davies of The Apprentice fame. I've not really seen it, and the premise sounds like other game shows, so it's just what you'd expect. It's just cheap entertainment. And I'm sure Sarah Davies is a good host, but yeah, that's all I really have to say about that show. And last but not least is the one that you've been waiting for me to talk about. ITV Daytime's budget cuts. Yes, they finally revealed today the new sets for the shows. And yeah, that's all I can really say for that. So Good Morning Britain sort of looks like the older set, but instead of real windows, they've got more LEDs. And they now record in the ITN studios, because obviously, as I said, ITN now produces the show. And then Lorraine is cut down to half an hour and only on the school terms. And its new set just looks really small. It just looks like they didn't really put any effort into it. This Morning, on the other hand, looks even more tacky. Because I know Multi-Story Media's taken over production of Lorraine This Morning and Loose Women, but since they're all filmed in the same studio now, it just seems like they couldn't really put any effort into doing things like this. Because the new This Morning set just looks tacky. And those LED window screens, they just look really out of place. They're just a bit of an eyesore. It just shows how cheap this really looks. And Loose Women, on the other hand, looks like it's gotten the cheapest kind of thing of all, because nowadays it just looks like the set is about the size of a bedroom, a really tiny bedroom, because there's no audience anymore. The intro is different. It looks cheaper as well. And yeah, even the Lorraine intro, which has like stop motion pictures of Lorraine Kelly, looks like they didn't really put any effort into it. At least the This Morning intro is not too bad, actually. They finally updated it, thank goodness. So that means there's no more scenes of the presenters like ITV, like with when it was Philip and Holly. They just shoehorned their pictures into them, and then of course you have selfies and whatnot. It just seemed like ITV were trying to make them like the biggest precious group you could ever imagine, but nowadays with the show, it just, to me, since there's no presenters in the intro, it seems like they're more interested in, like, just genericizing it or something. So yeah, that's all I have to offer up. Oh, and there was a Joe Wicks New Year's Day special that aired on New Year's Day as well. That was like a kind of like a feel-good kind of thing. And Limitless Win had a Christmas special that had Amanda Holden and someone else in it. But yeah, that's all I really have to say. Hope you enjoyed this video, and hopefully next time if ITV make more silly, stupid decisions, I'll make another video about it, because of course I do enjoy doing this kind of thing. Anyways, see you later everyone. Bye for now.
Old Spice, cold bath. Yeah! Compliments.
Thank you. Smells great.
Smells so amazing.
I'm going to interview some of my football friends. What is your sport power?
Old Spice. No,
Well
I'm confident.
played.
Well played.
What's your celebration, please?
Old Spice.
That is perfect.
2018 Christmas Day. Ooh, look at all the kids shows. Oh, look at that too. There's all sorts of different shows on. And not many repeats either. This is a definite Christmas schedule. And I'd be sitting through all these fun movies and whatnot. It's the time when you just let the family huddle up together on the sofa and watch some delightful TV. The things the BBC still does right now. Compared to now for ITV. In a festive first this year, Loose Women will join Good Morning Britain, Lorraine, and This Morning in ITV Daytime's Christmas Day schedule. Viewers can see In Christmas Day with Good Morning Britain on December the 25th before joining Lorraine as she hosts a cracking Christmas Day sofa special. Kat and Ben, Alison and Dermot continue the Christmas cheer with heartwarming surprises and big-name celebrities on This Morning, along with some last-minute tips for Christmas dinner disasters. In addition to that, there's some Loose Women and a bunch of other stuff too. That's us, ITV, coming up with the best Christmas Day schedule ever, with the shows that you see every single weekday on again, because we don't care about the viewers, we care about ourselves, despite the fact that these shows are getting lower budgets, because we hate our staff. ITV. Yes, ITV. You are done for. Why did you make that silly decision on bringing back those daytime shows again on Christmas Day? When you could be airing, I don't know, movies? Kids shows? Anything that's not named Good Morning Britain, Lorraine, or This Morning? But nope, you decide to put those three shows on again, and you decide to put Loose Women on as well, because why the heck not? The silly decisions you keep making, ITV. Lately, what you've been doing is... I already know. You keep airing too many repeats of game shows because you don't want to pay the contestants whenever a new episode goes on because you're running out of money. And then, of course, you decrease the budgets of your silly daytime TV shows anyway, and yet you decide to put most of the budget towards these silly pre-recorded Christmas specials. And no, I will not forgive you, Dermot O'Leary, for what you said, because it feels like that you don't care about who works on This Morning, but rather what your silly broadcaster, who supports you and all that, does. And the same with the rest of the This Morning presenters. Just feels like ITV's trying to defend them or something. You've made way too many mistakes, ITV, but I think this is the last straw. Well, at least there's one good thing. There's no TikTok special this year. Thank goodness, it would have been a lot worse. A lot worse, as I mean it. A lot worse. Ugh. And another double insult I'll say is that it just feels unfair for them to do Christmas specials of the daytime shows, considering their budgets are being lowered and there's less episodes airing of them apart from This Morning. Just... at this point, ITV could just save money and cancel them. I'm sick and tired of these shows. I'm sick and tired of them. To anyone who likes them, I don't care. It's ITV's fault for why Comcast is trying to buy them out. ITV, you're screwed up big time. And I mean it. No more silly mistakes, or I'll turn evil. Evil, I say. Evil, I say. Evil. Hey, why is it so dark outside? Have ITV turned off the lights because they want to save money as well? Screw you, ITV. I'll be happy when you're gone, because you're easily the worst out of the big broadcasters. You've made way too many mistakes. Bye, everyone.
I'm someone who has oily but dehydrated skin, and I've always struggled to find a product that will remove my makeup.
Hello there everyone, it's me Harry, and this is a quick video I wanted to make about the recent rumours that Comcast is going to purchase ITV's channel assets, as well as the ITVX streaming service. And I just wanted to tell you what I actually think of that kind of news, and if it would go to plan or not. So essentially, I've been criticising ITV for the past year, ever since they did that silly TikTok special And they've just gone worse and worse as of the year progressing by. Like, I did the ITV quiz video, and then I did their 70th anniversary thing, which wasn't that great either. So, as I've said in those videos, ITV was planning on like some sort of sale of their assets. So, like, the ITV Studios division would likely be sold off to a company like Barnjay or All Free Media. But now, ITV came up that they are planning on merging their TV channel assets with Comcast Sky. And that is going to be quite a big one. Hello there everyone, it's me Harry, and this is a quick video I wanted to make about the recent rumours that Comcast is going to purchase ITV's channel assets, as well as the ITVX streaming service. And I just wanted to tell you what I actually think of that kind of news, and if it would go to plan or not. So essentially... Hello there everyone, it's me Harry, and today this is a rant on ITV's 70th anniversary and how little effort they've put into it. So, let's give a little bit of a rundown. So, ITV normally classifies itself as being created on September the 22nd, because that was when the first franchisee, Rediffusion, had launched in London. And then 2 days later, ATV, Associated Television, had launched as well, but it was originally called ABC before it was rebranded because of copyright issues. So, why did I say that this anniversary year has been lousy? Well, you'd think that for a 70th anniversary they could put some good effort into it, but of course, being ITV these days, that's not the case. All you get instead is lower and lower budgets. In fact, the most effort that they've put into it is on ITVX. Yep, their own streaming service has put the most effort in. So what you get on the original ITV one is just some special idents, and that's it. There's no special programs or anything. It's a huge difference from their 50th anniversary, because they had a lot of different programs. Like, they even had Game Show Marathon, which recreated a bunch of old ITV aired game shows. So, there you go. So it says on here, era-defying shows in telly that broke the mould. Enjoy bold, brilliant, and unmissable stories from past to present with 70 years of ITV. Let's look at that, shall we? Let's see if there's anything special on here. Like, I know that they've added in some different shows, but they're not, like, adding in the entirety of the shows, despite them being in their archives. So, you can see here with the classic Stars in Their Eyes, it's only Series 5. There's none of the other seasons on there, but I predict this might have something to do with licensing issues with the songs, because they do use real songs in the show. Well, the whole concept is the contestants dress up as other artists. Tonight, Matthew, I'll be... blah, blah, blah. And there's 3, 2, 1. And yet they could have added more for that. I think ITV had this a couple of, like, a little while ago. Classic Brucey. And then it says around the regions. So I think this is likely some sort of documentary of sorts. But yeah, there's some shows there, but not much else. And then there's a rewind section, which shows different shows from over the periods. And yeah, that's pretty much it. But they do not list down anything in regards to Scottish television or Grampian television, because ITV doesn't own those regions. And there's not much in relation to Southern or Television South either, because ITV doesn't own the rights to those either. The only things that are on here in regards to the regions are those that ITV directly own. So, like, for example, if if it was like the 50th anniversary, I wouldn't expect channel television content to be on there because of ownership. Or UTV content at the time. Like they've added in the Muppet Show, which was an ATV production, but Disney owns the rights to that. It's only on there for it's part of a deal with Disney Plus. There's a bunch of other stuff. There's some old Thames programs on there, but they don't mention Thames by name because it's all owned by Fremantle Media or Boat Rocker Media, depending on the period. Once again, pretty much most of the same things over and over again. Ah, the 90s, my favourite. So yeah, this is what I mean. So this is an episode of Bruce's Price is Right, but it only says that it's one episode. It's not the entire series, which lasted, I think, for about 6 seasons. Yeah, I don't even think Challenge is airing it at the moment. And yet they've put in the entirety of Cold Feet on there. And there's a few Corrie episodes and other things. Oh, there's Phantom Cat. I know a certain someone who likes that show. And even then, some of these have already been on ITVX. So like Tots TV, for instance, has been on ITVX for a couple of years now. And it's still only the first season. Yeah, even Wolves, Witches and Giants is still only the first season, despite the fact that ITV owns the rights to that show. Now we're on to the 2000s, which was when I was born. They added in Footballers' Wives for some reason. Ant and Dec Saturday Night Takeaway. And yet, they put it in the 2000s section, but they only put on the most recent seasons. Like, why are you putting it there when it's the later seasons from the 2010s? Wouldn't you actually put on the original seasons or something? I have no idea. And there's just very little that's interesting. Yeah. And even they put Fat Friends on there as well. One of Corden's earlier shows. 2010s? Oh boy. And they even promote the fact that with Downton Abbey, it's basically saying, oh, you want to watch that? Oh, pay up. It's a paywall. Or just get the DVDs or the Blu-rays. Then you can watch it any time. Unless we removed it from the streaming service, that's it. But yeah. And then in the 2010s, they're putting on the Dennis and Nasher series from 1996, I believe it is. Which originally aired on the BBC. But I do believe this may have been an inheritance from BritBox. And Tipping Point. Yay! Tipping Point. And let's end it up with the 2020s. Yay, look at all these amazing shows. I'm so glad these are around, making us think that this is part of ITV history. Yay, This Morning, the show that won the NTAs. And I'm not forgetting what you said, Dermot O'Leary. It's ITV's fault, not the production team. Oh wait, it is their fault too. This show's terrible. Oh, and Loose Women. Once again, why is this part of history? Oh, and oh yeah, the You Bet reboot's on there as well. Like they could have put in the older seasons of that, but they choose not to. Now, Around the Regions, a little documentary series of sorts or something, I don't know. And yet, once again, it's missing most of the regions, the ones that ITV do not own. So, like, even then, on ITVX, they still put very little effort into this. Like, if I was running ITV and celebrated the 70th anniversary, I would actually put on a lot more things on their dumpster fire of a streaming service. Not commissioning another TikTok special, which I hope they don't do. And actually putting in more episodes of a show, because you have them in the archives after all. And now we're on to more and more and more and more and... Oh, never mind. So here we are. Shows from the regions. So Granada, Yorkshire, Thames. Yep, they got Thames on there, but ITV doesn't own that. It's ATV, LWT. Anglian Meridian they put in a single category. TSW Southern and Channel Television. So yeah, they do have some Southern television programs on there. HTV, Ulster, Tyne Tees and Border. So there's no Television South programs on there because Disney owns most of those. And it's just been in whole copyright limbo ever since International Family Entertainment bought the rights. There's no Scottish television and no Scottish television and no Grampian television shows. Once again, as I said, they're not owned by ITV. They're owned by STV Group, so there you go. And there is some Jerry Anderson stuff on here. At least that would be kind of worthy. I'm not sure what prints of the Thunderbird series they have on here, but I do predict that it might be the widescreen ones that ITV released on Blu-ray back in 2008. And there's a few other stuff, but it's only the Jerry Anderson shows that ITV owns as well. This is just like all stuck within what ITV does own or what they don't own. Hopefully this will stay paused. And then if you... Oh. Gotta move by the side. I'm gonna get copyrighted if I show that by accident. So, yeah, this is the fast streaming channel that they've added on. And it's got this show on it, and then Fat Friends is on after that. Yeah, they really have reduced down the fast channels ever since ITVX launched, so there's not much these days. So yeah, ITVX Kids is probably still going to stay there for a little while. Yeah, Christmas movies, so it's mostly Hallmark stuff. This is still there, this is still there, this is still there. Most of the show ones are still there. Comedy 24/7 is still there. This is... And this is as well. But anyways... That's all I really have to say about this. So going back on to my thoughts on what ITV have put into any effort. Let's take a look at their schedules. If I can even find them. And I misspelled that. There we are. Let's look at what they were showing off on the actual anniversary day. Let's go right to the very end. And we're looking at ITV1, not the other channels. Oh, never mind. So, for some reason, the Good Morning Britain slots glitched up. For some reason, I don't know why. There's Lorraine, there's This Morning. It's the same exact schedule that you'd always expect from ITV. There's nothing special about it. There's not even any special anniversary programs or anything. I'm pretty certain that they are very likely going to do some, like, special programs later on, but it's just the same boring schedule that we're always familiar with. At this point, it's just making you feel like ITV is making you say, oh, you want programs you want? Go on ITVX and we'll give you what you want until we get rid of it. Yeah. Yeah, even the regional news has put actual effort into showing off the regions and the early history of ITV when it was franchisees, not this big company that it is now. At least ITV News West Country has, because I was showing images of it. Good old Alex Lovell and co-host, I don't know who the co-host was on the news that day. It wasn't Sabah, it was someone else. They actually showed off HTV West and TSW and the West Country. Everything. They actually put effort into that, complete with Alex pretending to play the flute, but yeah, that's it. This is it, ITV. 70 years of history, and this is what you give us. Lousy scheduling, terrible commissions, your dumpster fire of a streaming service that you're trying to make the next big thing. Like, what the heck is up with you, ITV? You used to be top on this world, and now you're not. All you're doing is really, really struggling, and at this point, all Free Media is likely going to buy you out, because they're trying to buy out your ITV Studios division. Oh, and of course, the daytime TV is suffering from significant budget cuts. That's what I was meaning about what Dermot O'Leary said at the National Television Awards. Like, he thinks that the entire team is being put through a lot of... Oh, you know, I'm not going to say it. But he should really see what this awful company is doing. ITV... You should be glad you're still around. I'm getting sick and tired of you having to complain about your stupid services and the fact that you're commissioning programming nobody wants. And as much as the BBC have gone a bit weird and all the other networks, at least they're trying to put effort. Like, I would rather watch Wallace and Gromit Vengeance Most Foul than that stupid TikTok special. Like, yeah, that's what I mean. What is wrong with you, ITV? Anyways, I think this is the end of this little video and rant on this. ITV puts little effort into their 70th anniversary aside from what they've been showing off, putting it on their streaming service, and there you go, that's it. I'm done. Hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching, and bye for now.
Olay Regenerous SPF 50 Fluid. 3-in-1 moisturiser. It's lightweight, so I just wear it every day.
Smooth, rich, and...
Hello there everyone, it's me Harry, and this is a video of where I'm going to be talking about ITV Quiz's scheduling and what programmes they're going to be airing. Because, since the schedules for the following weeks have been revealed, on the Virgin Media box site at least, how about I talk about what shows are going to be on the channel. So ITV Quiz is launching on June the 9th, and it's replacing ITVB, which the reality shows that are on ITVB are moving over to ITV2 to fill in scheduling for some reason. I'm guessing they felt like that a dedicated reality show channel doesn't work anymore, so they just decided to ditch that and replace it with a game show channel, which is good because it would be nice to have some more game show channels aside from Challenge. Like, I still could be awaiting a UK version of Buzzer, which is Fremantle's game show channel in the States, but I don't think I see that happening at the moment. But let's see what ITV Quiz has to offer. So we have Lingo and Lingo, so it seems like there's going to be a double bill of Lingo. Tipping Point and Tipping Point. Yep, double bills. Tenor Pool, Wheel of Fortune, Deal or No Deal. Well, not all of it's going to be all of that, but most of it will. But it seems like that just from this first day alone, there's a serious lack of variety. It just seems like that they're airing the same programmes over and over again. So let's see. Wheel of Fortune, 1. Tipping Point, 2. Millionaire Celebrity, 3. Deal or No Deal, 4. Lingo, 5. Tenable, 6. That's it. There's only 6 programmes on at launch. That's it. Nothing else. Like, come on, ITV. You've got a wider game show variety than that. Why just have those 6 shows? Or better off, just give out some more variety. Because I wouldn't want to sit here and watch like Tipping Point reruns over and over again because W already reruns the show. So why are they airing Tipping Point? What? So we could have more Ben Shepherd? I don't know. And yeah, the Wheel of Fortune revival. And even then, Tenable's already airing on Challenge as well. But at least the good side is that, well, they decided to move Deal or No Deal off of ITV2 and onto here. But for some reason, they're still airing game shows on ITV2 anyway. So the Celebrity Catchphrase slot that's been on the channel for at least 5 years or something, it used to be the You've Been Framed slot. Yeah, that's still happening. So they're not even going to be moving it over to ITVB. Like, what's the point in making a quiz show channel or a game show channel, but just keep the game shows on ITV2 anyway? It doesn't really make any sense. And like, look at this, Deal or No Deal's on there as well. It could have just moved over to the other channel, but nope, ITV have decided that it's just going to stay on ITV2 anyway because Deal or No Deal appeals to their Gen Z crowd and spit like that. So, and then as for their schedule, it's just reruns of existing ITVB shows that they just added in because they didn't have any other space in them. So the new ITV2, as they call it, it's now just a mishmash of ITV2 and ITVB. Because they're already rerunning Dinner Day as well, and that's been cancelled. And why are they airing The Only Way is Essex pre-Watershed? Because that show has way too much swearing in it. And it would be hard to bleep it all out. Bleep, bleep, bleep. Yeah, a little humour doesn't hurt. But yeah, that's all I really have to say about that. But no. I've still got a lot more to say. So this is just day one of ITV Quiz. Let's see what's on Tuesday. Hey look, it's the same shows, but they've replaced Wheel of Fortune Celebrity with Millionaire, so I think that's probably going to be in there for most of the time. And there's... oh dear, it's the same exact shows, but what am I expecting? It's a weekday. Come on, let's go over to the weekend. I'm sure they'll change up the schedule a little bit. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and...
Us is curls. Wanna have fun, curls.
Bosch and Finish work together. Stains are gone forever.
Just... no. Just no. It's still the same 6 shows. Like, you could think that they could do something a bit better, but just... ITVX has a wider variety than this. Like, are they worried that the other shows are outdated because they're not airing on ITV anymore or something? Give me a break. Like, I knew that ITV has gone downhill this badly, if you've seen from my recent videos, but it hasn't gone as bad as this. That probably explains why Banjay is trying to buy ITV, and so is All Free Media. Because ITV, I'd say, has gone downhill the most out of the big 5 networks. Yes, I'm saying it. Even worse than Channel 4 and Channel 5, and yet they don't really have much good programming. And like, I could be biased and people could say I'm a BBC fan, but some of their stuff isn't great either. But really, maybe this explains why people are going the streaming route, because they're, once again, ITV's commissioning and airing programs nobody wants. In fact, let's go over to Challenge, which is where they're airing most of the older ITV archived programs and whatnot. So this is a Saturday, by the way. And it's funny because The Chase is ITV's biggest game show property that they own, and yet it's not even airing on ITV Quiz. How funny is that? It could air on there at some point, but right now, nuh-uh. Maybe Challenge just wants to continue milking it out for as long as they can. And yet, although they air The Chase way too much, and the same with Bullseye, look at the wider variety of scheduling, if you get what I mean. Yeah. But that's most likely because some of these game shows are only a half hour long. Yeah, even the Generation games rerunning. And they've got All-Star Family Fortunes, and even Dickinson's Real Deal reruns, despite the fact this isn't a game show. Even Strike It Lucky and / Strike It Rich. Yeah, look. And then that's when the schedule just goes downhill with nothing but Chase reruns. And then on the Sunday of that day, yeah, they've got The Bidding Room. Oh, that's a Friday. Yeah, they've started airing Richard Osman's House of Games, which I don't know why, but they're airing Bob's Full House reruns. And that show hasn't been on Challenge for a very long time. And then on Sunday, yeah, they did have Friends Like These reruns, but it seems like the Challenge didn't acquire the Ian Wright seasons, so they've just stopped airing it. I can't go a bit further, but yeah, they did air Friends Like These, but they've stopped now. I don't know why they didn't air the Ian Wright seasons. Yeah, they're not as good as the Ant and Dec ones, but it's still good variety anyway. Who knows, maybe the BBC could launch a fast channel full of game shows they own, so that way you could watch really outdated shows like, you know the quote. But yeah, there's still better variety on Challenge than there is on ITV Quiz, most likely due to the half-hour nature, but you get what I mean. And yet at the moment for Family Fortunes, which they're not airing as many of the newer Les Dennis seasons than they used to, they've gone on back to airing his very first season in 1987 with the giant screen rather than the Mr. Babbage one that was used. Not as many Bullseye reruns as before, but even though it's still the second most popular show on Challenge. But yeah, that's all I really say. Challenge still has a lack of variety, but it's nowhere near as bad as what ITV have to offer for ITV Quiz. Let's go further to it again. Yeah, once again, ITV, you really need to add more programs onto here. And it's, once again, as I've said, it explains why your product's going downhill, ITV PLC. No wonder why the same people are always presenting the same things, because you favour them too much. We can't get enough Ant and Dec and Stephen Mulhern and Alison Hammond and formerly Holly Willoughby over and over again. And sometimes it makes me think why Alex Lovell, my favourite TV presenter, decided to join ITV to begin with. Well, I have no idea, but there you go. And that was completely unrelated to what I was just showing you there, but yeah, sometimes I have to be a bit unrelated. But anyways, ITV Quiz. I think if it continues on, it really needs more shows. It really, really needs more shows on there. I could be raging about this, but I'm not, because it's very late at night and I don't want to wake up the neighbours. But anyways, hope you enjoyed this video of me rambling on about ITV Quiz. And see you later, everyone. Bye for now. Hello there, everyone. It's me, Harry, and in this video, I'm going to bring out my thoughts on the upcoming ITV Quiz channel. So, the news brought out last week, as of when I'm recording this, that the ITVB channel's being replaced with a game show channel. And they're going to be moving all of ITVB's programs over to ITV2, mainly because ITV thought that ITV2 was better off as being the reality show channel, because it's the one that airs Love Island and Big Brother after all, so there you go. And now they're all moving it back. Well, some of the shows have been cancelled, but some, like The Only Way is Essex, is being moved back, because it originally debuted on ITV2. So there you are. And so I'm going to talk about my views on the ITV Quiz channel and what kind of shows will be likely on there. Because since it's mostly going to be sourced from the archives that ITVX already has, there's likely not going to be any older shows. ITV is still likely going to just send them off to Challenge, which is owned by Sky. And already Challenge already airs The Chase and a few other shows, Family Fortunes, Classic, for example, and Catchphrase, Classic, and I think they did start airing the Stephen Mulhern Catchphrase, but the civilian version. I don't think ITV really wants anything to do with that again because they don't see Catchphrase as being a good game show with normal contestants anymore. They just want celebrities. And I know that that one's done by STV Productions, which ITV does not own, but there you go. So, let's take a look at what game shows they have on ITVX. And it's very likely those are what's going to be on the channel. Well, this isn't really a game show, but I could guess 1990 Beat might be on there. I've seen the first episode of this, and I thought it was a very interesting show. It's sort of similar to Squid Game, the Netflix series. I think that's what the name is. Alan Carr's Epic Game Show. That got cancelled back in 2023. And it's mostly Fremantle-owned game shows, because this is produced by Talkback, or Talkback Thames. Bullseye is not one of them. That's owned by the show's creator. And recently, ITV commissioned a full series that they're producing themselves. Limitless Win is very likely going to be on there. Pretty much anything that ITV2 is already airing or whatnot is going to be on the channel. And since this show is going to be continuing again more and more, that's going to be our take on Ant and Dec for maybe until the show ever gets cancelled. And although it's going to be called ITV Quiz, I wouldn't be surprised if any entertainment shows might find their way on there as well, but I'm not sure. I think they might stay on ITV2. So if Saturday Night Takeaway ever came back and repeats aired, then I would be certain that they would be on there. Beat the Chase is a definite yes. Anything The Chase is a definite yes. Although Challenge has been airing the Family Chase spin-off, and so I don't think they'll ever acquire this one, because ITV will just keep it in their hands. Bunch of stuff that I don't really care too much about. They could probably re-air the Bullseye Christmas special that aired last year. Although they just keep over promoting Luke Littler in this, even though he's still quite a young guy. Like, I know that you can milk out his success, but you can't overdo it. It gets really annoying. There's Catchphrase, and they've only got series 2 and 3 of the civilian version on there, but Celebrity has 5 seasons available. So I don't think they'll be acquiring it. Well, I don't think they'll have this, but they'll likely have Celebrity Catchphrase because it airs on ITV2 every weeknight, and it's still very successful. It replaced You Been Framed as ITV2's big thing in its time slot. I don't think Celebrity Lingo will be on there because it only has 1 season. But I think the civilian version will do. Oh, just another thing I might quickly mention. I don't know why there's kids shows on here, because they should just have their own category, because although you know, the Trumpton Show trilogy is aimed towards all audiences, it was originally made for children anyway, so I don't know why they're all on there. Most likely because they're archive programs? I have no idea. Deal or No Deal is a definite yes, because that's been rerunning quite a lot lately on ITV2. And Family Fortunes, on the other hand, I think that's a no, because we know why. And it's this guy. Well, considering it's kind of funny that ITV removed the Family Fortunes reruns from ITV2 and replaced them with Wheel of Fortune reruns, but yet it's still on ITVX, despite the fact they said they were never going to be working with Gino D'Acampo ever again, even though I think he's filing a lawsuit against ITV over the things that he supposedly did. Fastest Finger First, I do not think this will ever be on the channel, because it was formatted for the Millionaire series that it was for, and it was just a big failure in ratings. It just feels like that having a whole game show dedicated to the Fastest Finger First lifeline just isn't going to work. Like, there was a spin-off of Millionaire that was based on the 50/50 lifeline, but that never had a UK version, and I don't know what the format's like. Let's see what else. Although he's holding a cue card, that is not a game show, it's a panel show. And yeah, that show sucks. Pretty much anything modern that Ian Sterling's doing these days is some stupid panel show. There's nothing good about them. I'm getting off on tangent, but there we go. In for a Penny might be on there, because it's not really a proper game show, but it does have a lot of games in it. So that show recently wrapped up. It could come back in the future, but as of now, nuh-uh. And plus, it's good for the kiddies, because the kiddies love this show. In With a Shout, that got cancelled as well, but I could predict that this will likely have some reruns. It's essentially Teleaddicts, but without Teleaddicts. Yeah, I could predict, Jeopardy reruns are likely going to be on there as well, because it's a daytime show and there's going to be lots of episodes for them to air. Same with Lingo. They introduced a new format in that where the winners can stay on the show until they lose. Why do they call these box sets? They're not box sets, they're just streaming sets. An actual box set is if you have a box full of DVDs or other physical media. That's a proper box set. But of course, they have to be hip and modern and use Gen Z slang. Modern times. There's a bunch more shows that... I could guess that Moneyball might be on there. Ian Wright, you still never get out of my eyes. Because the only two other game shows that he's done are... He did Friends Like These on the BBC. The last 4 seasons. He did it after Anton Deck left for ITV. And then he also did Right Around the World, which was a national lottery game show. And it made for a very bad pun. Because, yeah, you know what I mean. I'm not sure if Password will be on there, because it's a panel show. I doubt it. I don't know if this show will be on there. Pictionary is likely yes. It could go for a good half hour because it's a half-hour show. I don't remember this show. I could guess Ridiculous will... Riddle-licious, whatever, is going to be on there. I do like the hosts on this one. They have good chemistry. But if Rolling On It was on the channel, then that would mean even more Stephen Mulhern. Ugh. Yeah, Stephen Mulhern, ITV's biggest cash cow man. Alongside Anton Deck and formerly Holly Willoughby. and maybe a few others. Now, this was an interesting format, and it was, I think, the first time Gary Lineker ever hosted a game show. So while he wasn't stuffing his face with walkers or hosting Match of the Day, he was doing other weird things like this. And then that show got cancelled as well. I do not know if this one... Yeah, no, that's a panel show. Supermarket Sweep is a definite yes. I think that still reruns on ITV2. Maybe a yes as well? The 1% Club's been a big hit, so that's been rerunning on ITV4. So I could guess that, yep, it'll be on there as well. Hey, look, British Soap Awards. I know this isn't a game show, but yeah, Philip Schofield's head is still on there. See, yep, you can still stream something with Schof in it, even though ITV said they'd never do anything with him again, and they're likely writing him out of history. Of course. You can't think of game shows on ITV without their biggest game show cash cow franchise, The Chase. And, of course, the celebrity versions as well. Those are no-brainers. But does it mean Challenge will stop airing Chase over and over again? I doubt it. The ITV quiz is likely just going to air the newer seasons, and the older seasons are just going to stay with Challenge. So that means we'd be seeing The Chase on even more channels than ever. ITV milks out this show too much. Yeah. I don't think this show will ever rerun again. It's got Schof in it. That's not a game show. It's very likely the case with all of these. They're all they're all like talent kind of shows. So yeah. Ugh, yuck. This is... Why? And hopefully, if I'm not on holiday this year, or during that time, I can do a commentary on this. Or a rant or something, or whatever you want me to do for this year's NTAs, because every single NTA just gets worse. Why do I still even watch this every year? Now, although Tipping Point is a very successful game show, I am sure that this is not going to be on ITV Quiz because UK TV's W has the rights to the show. But I could be wrong, they might just air the newer seasons until W gets them, but it just depends if Banjay want to give them to ITV, because Banjay owns the rights to the show. And I think it would be the same for Lucky Stars as well. There's the Wheel of Fortune reboot. And that's certainly going to be on there because they've been rerunning episodes of that. I'm pretty certain there will likely be a season 3 as well. The newer Millionaire episodes are going to be the same as well. The older ones, Sony's just going to likely just give them to Challenge. Although I don't think I've really seen Millionaire that much on Challenge lately. And then the last game show that is on there is Winning Combination, which lasted 2 seasons and it got cancelled. What I do find very interesting is that I think it was sometime in 2023, ITV reran the Switch, which was a game show that was hosted by Sanjeev Bhaskar. And I don't know why they reran it, because that show was never on ITVX. It was a very unsuccessful daytime game show. And I'm doubtful You Bet will re-air on ITV because it's not a game show, it's a betting talent show. And plus, they are reformatting this for the second season. It's just going to be Stephen Mulhern this time. Holly Willoughby's not going to be in the second season. Although it would be very likely that if the show was ever renewed again, she would likely be one of the panelists this time round instead of being a host. I'm guessing ITV decided that it was just easier for it just to be a single hosted show. But of course, they still have to milk out Mulhern somehow, so there you go. And that's pretty much it. I'm pretty certain that there's not going to be any older game shows that ITV owns because they're likely just going to stay on Challenge. Because most of Challenge's schedule is of ITV-owned content, even though it's owned by Sky. And yeah, that's just pretty much it. Thank you for watching, everyone, and bye for now.
Previously on my YouTube channel.
Who on earth is going to be watching this? I'm sorry, but anyone who thinks that this is a good idea to put this on Christmas Eve, they should really reconsider that.
And somehow this ended up being the highest rated programme in its time slot. People who could have wanted to watch something on their telly boxes on Christmas Eve decided that this stupid TikTok compilation special was the right way to go. All you've done is pressured ITV into likely commissioning another one of these specials of the future. Or better off, they could be wise and revive You Been Framed. And as for me, I didn't even bother watching this special. I do not want to encourage ITV to commission another one of these mistakes again. And even without my hindrance, it still won out. What is entertaining about watching some random short-form videos done in portrait mode? There's no purpose aside from increasing the egos of these so-called social media influencers. A lot of people have been comparing this to You've Been Framed, and yet that show had a purpose because it always awarded £250 for any video that was seen on the show, and it was genuinely funny. And this special just exists. So, here is the page for the special on ITVX, of which the description reads, "Celebrate our top 100 viral TikTok clips of 2024 in this epic countdown and a look at how much money these unforgettable clips could have earned for their creators." It doesn't mention that the special also has a narrator, and it's Joel Dommett. Joel, are you so deep up in work from all your other major roles on ITV that you had to do this? What's next? They're going to give you your own costume on The Masked Singer? Yeah, that happened. The future. Or better off, they could be wise and revive You Been Framed. And as for me, I didn't even bother watching this special. I do not want to encourage ITV to commission another one of these mistakes again. And even without my hindrance, it still won out. What is entertaining about watching some random short-form videos done in portrait mode? There's no purpose aside from increasing the egos of these so-called social media influencers. A lot of people have been comparing this to You've Been Framed, and yet that show had a purpose because it always awarded £250 for any video that was seen on the show, and it was genuinely funny. And this special just exists. So, here is the page for the special on ITVX, of which the description reads, "Celebrate our top 100 viral TikTok clips of 2024 in this epic countdown and a look at how much money these unforgettable clips could have earned for their creators." It doesn't mention that the special also has a narrator, and it's Joel Dommett. Joel, are you so deep up in work from all your other major roles on ITV that you had to do this? What's next? They're going to give you your own costume on The Masked Singer? Yeah, that happened. And although it won out its time slot, it thankfully didn't beat the BBC, not even by a mile. Compare the million views of this mistake with the 9 million views or something Vengeance Most Foul got on the BBC the following day. Sure, it was different time slots, but you get what I mean. Now then, ITV, can you see why your major rival keeps beating you in the Christmas ratings? It's because you don't bring out anything good during the Christmas season. Your choice of a good Christmas is putting on shows we already go through every weekday, putting on way too many repeats of shows that you could easily stream on your dumpster fire of an on-demand, streaming service, not enough content that can appeal to the whole family like animated films as you farm them over to ITV2, And most of all, trying to appeal to the Gen Z youth crowd with a TV special nobody asked, wanted, or even breathed for. And I've already run out of breath having to say all of that. That's how bad it is. Shame on you, ITV. Shame on you, Minnow Films. And shame on you, social media influencers, for completely destroying the wrath of the internet with short-form content. The worst form of content ever! But please, do not shoot me for what I've just said. But not everyone is going to enjoy what everyone else enjoys. Oh, and as for my thoughts on Martin Lewis's board game special, that sucked as well and it was really boring. I don't need to say anything more about it. Will ITV ever recover from terrible Christmas schedules? I don't think so. See you later, everyone. Bye for now.
Earnings and value estimates are based on real-world data and AR, but are not guaranteed accurate. Actual earning figures may vary widely depending on factors including, but not limited to, sponsorship deals, brand collaborations, match sales, and how many times they did a funny dance. We accept no responsibility for sudden desire to quit your day job to become TikTok famous. Consult your influencer calculator before making any major life decisions. For sudden desire to quit your day job to become TikTok famous. Consult your influencer calculator before making any major life decisions. Terms and conditions apply.
I should have figured out this special was AI assisted. Like with everything else these days. Hello there everyone, it's me Harry. Today we're going to look at the Christmas schedules for ITV1. Because their schedule for this year has just been completely lackluster. So, it's not on their website yet, but the Christmas TV Weebly website has it up. And then what I'll do is I'll compare some of ITV's previous few schedules, and then I'll compare ITV one for this year with the BBC One's Christmas schedule, because the BBC have really been calling it a good Christmas for them, from what you see by them. But beforehand, let's take a look at an ITV schedule from Christmas 5 years ago, 2019, namely. We'll look at Christmas Eve and Christmas Day as well, but if you can see, there's mostly CITV stuff there. Lots of repeats of other shows. There's Shrek, there's Casino Royale, there's Basic Instinct. But what you can see is there's absolutely no This Morning anywhere. But there's still Good Morning Britain and Lorraine. Same with that. And then on Christmas Day, no sign of Good Morning Britain. No sign of Lorraine. No sign of This Morning. None of that. And there's lots, and there's a few, there's a film there. It's pretty similar to just a regular day, if you can see here. And then there's just a repeat of Britain's Top 100 Dogs, whatever that is. And you could go on and on with that. But it's mostly just repeats. Nothing really much original. But once again, no sign of This Morning anywhere. But this year, on the other hand, well, if you can see here, it seems okay, I guess, but once again, there's mostly just Gen Z entertainment shows like Capital's Jingle Bell Ball repeat, or shows like Inside M&S at Christmas, or James Martin. That's not Gen Z stuff. That's a mainstream program. Mariah Carey, Merry Christmas to All. And they're in the second episode of the You Bet reboot on the 22nd as well. So, yeah, they got good amount of entertainment shows on Sunday. The Bullseye Christmas specials there, that's the pilot to the upcoming Bullseye revival. And this is the last production made by 12 Yard, as ITV have just announced they're going to be closing them down. So who knows who's going to make the Bullseye revival if it does come to series, but I think it will be. There's The Chase. Yeah, I think they missed out last year. And yet they've even got the a film as well on the 22nd, Jurassic World Domination. So
There it is, and the 23rd is alright as well, because, well, there's a Pictionary Christmas special. Or is it on one of the other days? I don't know which. It doesn't say. I think it's the Christmas special. And then, of course, Tipping Point Lucky Stars has got a Christmas special as well, so it does seem fine, I guess, but of course, it doesn't feel like a normal day, if you can see here. Good Morning Britain, Lorraine, This Morning, Loose Women. Yep, they're all airing during the Christmas week. Why are they airing during the Christmas week? Nobody asked for them to be there. And it gets worse because Christmas Eve is exactly the same. Nobody asked for it. So, yeah. And as for this schedule, the rest of that, there is nothing interesting to say about it. There's only one film, and that's It's a Wonderful Life. Only one animated thing, and that's the Shrek the Halls special. They decided to repeat You Bet for whatever reason. Couldn't they just put something else in there? People could just watch the You Bet reboot on ITVX. That's the reason why streaming services exist, so you can watch what you want, rather than the channel offering what they don't want. Even though streaming services, of course, they get rid of what you like anyway, so they're not even better than the channels, but there you go. But then, the absolute worst in this section is TikTok Top 100 2024. Oh my gosh. ITV makes us feel like we're idiots. Who on earth is going to be watching this? Aside from, like, young teenagers or anyone who's below the age of, 25 is probably going to watch this, but the mainstream audience is not. Nobody is going to be watching this. I'm sorry, but anyone who thinks that this is a good idea to put this on Christmas Eve, they should really reconsider that. Let me just go over to the BBC this time. I could have gone and opened up something else, but never mind. But let's go over to Christmas Eve on BBC One. Look at this. Just ignore BBC Two because I'm focusing on this. But look at this. Look at all these movies. Chicken Run, there's Peter Rabbit 2, there's The Flight Before Christmas, Shaun the Sheep special, Moana, Shrek, Ghostbusters Afterlife, even a repeat of the Gavin and Stacey Christmas special. This is a schedule. This is one packed out schedule. Everything's in there. Everything what you'd expect is in there. ITV, on the other hand, they're just airing some stupid TikTok special. TikTok sucks. It's just nothing more than... you know what it is. But why would anyone want to watch portrait form videos on a 16:9 aspect ratio television, or maybe bigger than that? Because you could barely see the screen. It's mostly just a background, and ITV keeps doing this. A lot of their shows keep showing short form video content. This Morning does it a lot. I think Lorraine does as well. And I saw one clip that was in that format on the You Bet revival. Nobody asked for any of this. And I'm sick and tired of TikTok taking over the life. Nobody asked for this. But anyways, most of this is just a rant on me on this thing, but once again, nobody asked for this. Let's look at Christmas Day. We've got Christmas specials of GMB, Lorraine, and This Morning, like they have been done the previous few years. Last year's This Morning Christmas special was actually okay. It had Alison Hammond getting a name in that Panto Theatre that's where she was born in, I think. In the location she was born in, as far as I know. And Giles Bandruff added some little bit of fun as well with his crazy jumpers. But of course, it's typical Giles. He's always a strange person, no matter what happens, and no matter what show he's on. You gotta love him. And there's Home Alone 2, so at least it's not completely disappointing, but what is disappointing is they've got the Bullseye Christmas special on repeat again. And then, aside from that, Emmerdale, Corrie, The Chase. This is this is still an underwhelming schedule. Because the BBC, on the other hand, they have everything. Toy Story 3, the premiere of Minions, The Rise of Gru, and of course the main schedule featuring Weakest Link, Strictly, Doctor Who, and the premiere of Wallace and Gromit: Vengeance Most Foul, which obviously is their main theme for the Christmas idents this year. This is obviously going to be the main attraction alongside the Gavin and Stacey final episode. And yeah, there is a few stinkers like the Mrs. Brown's Boys Christmas special, but you got to get used to that, it's always there. Although everyone hates Mrs. Brown's Boys, there's still going to be lots of people who are absolutely obsessed with it. It's still a very popular show. Now for Boxing Day, yeah, they got a standard like Pictionary episode. And on the good side, there is no sign of This Morning. No sign of the usual shows. They've decided to just put on some repeats instead. And then there's a Bond film as well, which they're using to fill out This Morning's slot. And the 1% Club Christmas specials there as well. And the Masked Singer as well. So this is sort of a, let's say, a redemption, but not so much. And then, of course, the Bullseye Christmas special is being repeated again, but this is likely a sign language one. Life and Death of Lily Savage, Paul O'Grady's drag alter ego. That's likely a signed one as well. And the TikTok Top 100 things, that's likely signed as well, but I don't know when this is airing. It's the one that's got that actor from Corrie, I think it is, instead of Stephen Mulhern, because he was unable to host it this year after the collapse that he had in a restaurant. Gotta feel bad for him, even though once again he is one of ITV's drama boys. I mean, not drama boys. ITV's not Scrappies, because he's very popular, but writer's pet, I'll just say. Yeah, one of ITV's writer's pets. Another Deal or No Deal Celebrity Editions there. They've been airing that weekly, I think. Even the Wheel of Fortune is there as well. So it's trying to redeem itself, but it's still not trying to not redeem itself. It's still mediocre. And there's still way too many repeats. And then we end it off on New Year's Eve. They're re-airing the TikTok Top 100 Christmas special again. Well, TikTok Top 100 thing again. They're airing that 3 times, and nobody even asked for it there. And then, of course, that's the New Year's thing. In for a petty Disney special. Chase bloopers. Stuff that nobody really asked for. No, there we are. But once again, if you have a look here, look at this schedule. There's hardly any repeats, although in this one there's more repeats. But in the main like primetime section, there's none. And some films as well. There's Saturday Kitchen. They're airing Shrek 2 as well. Weakest Link Party Special. So there's good amount of stuff. And then CBBC shows are airing on BBC Two. So, but they're all repeats, so don't worry about that. Still more interesting shows and all that. Go on and on about that. And then the New Year's Eve thing this year is done by Sophie Ellis Bextor. It's after the Graham Norton New Year's Eve show. Is the New Year's Eve special of the Graham Norton show. And there's the premiere of the Black Panther film as well. It's terrestrial premiere, I think it is. And repeats and all that, but... And then on New Year's Day... There's the Gladiator Celebrity Special and a Gavin and Stacey documentary. And then they're airing the premiere of The Traitors at 8 p.m. Kind of unusual because the show's always aired post-Watershed because it's got quite a bit of swearing in it. So who knows, they might just end up bleeping some of this stuff out because you wouldn't really want to hear that before the Watershed. But you get the idea. Oh, and it's airing on... Oh, there we are. They're airing it at 9 p.m. on January. And the Have I Got Sport For You special is pre-Watershed as well, so they've likely bleeped out a few things in that as well. But, yeah, the BBC have completely defeated ITV in terms of how terrible ITV have gotten this year with their stupid programming. And it's mainly because of their stupid decision on putting that stupid TikTok thing on Christmas Eve. This is not going to get many views. There we are. But anyways, I think I've rambled way too long in this video, so... yeah. Anyways, thanks for watching. Bye for now.
It was England-France. England was about to score. Like, there was a power cut. Yeah, it was tragic. It was tragic.
Introducing Goldsmiths lab-grown diamonds. Scientifically perfected, each facet's...
Hello there everyone, it's me Harry, and today we're going to be talking about a certain controversy that's been happening lately. And this controversy is called Q-Gate. Well, I've been using the term before the press have, but basically let's talk about what's been going on lately with what Philip and Holly have been doing. Well, what ITV have made them do. So, this isn't the first time they've been caught out in controversy this month, because already they had complaints from Ofcom, well, viewer complaints, about their Spin to Win game, because normally in the Spin to Win game you'd win money, but this time, well, at the beginning of when they came back on this morning, they had a new format where they would win a chance to win payment of their energy bills, which got complaints because it was just a sign that they were trying to pay out on the whatever it's called, the crisis, whatever that crisis, and then about a day later, they did end up responding to the whole controversy, but of course, I think we know what happened then. Philip said, I wonder how much of that they can complain about online, and then Holly was laughing, like, those two couldn't even accept any criticism for that event. And then eventually they got rid of it, and, well, it seemed like everyone was going back to normal. Then, September the 8th rolled by. The news everyone was going to expect came. The Queen had passed away, and everyone went into a period of mourning. And that meant lots of changes happened on the schedules. And so, what happened next? Well, there were a few This Morning specials. Both Philip and Holly were wearing professional black clothes, and then eventually, on Thursday, they were going to pay their respects to the Queen. But, instead of queuing like everyone else, ITV gave them the get-out-of-jail-free card and let them pass through the queue for something. And since then, there's been nothing but controversy. Like, there's just been... That's all the show's been about lately, and, being honest with you, ITV knew they were doing something wrong. They knew that they were going to let those two jump the queue, and they knew something was going to happen, and so they kept quiet about it. And so did Philip and Holly. Well, Holly Willoughby in particular, because normally on her Instagram she posts pictures of her dresses and stuff she wears on This Morning before she goes on the show, but as of lately, nothing. Absolutely nothing! Yeah, that's right. And the reason why? I'm being trolled! No, duh! Oh, sorry for that little rage, but seriously, you knew you were gonna get trolled after that whole controversy. Huh? 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 I think I'm going crazy myself. But yeah, that's what's been happening. And what's been going on behind the scenes at this morning after that happened? Nothing but misery. Holly hasn't been chatting that much. She's just been quiet and looking depressed. Well, not really depressed, just looking quite sad. But who knows, maybe she is feeling sympathy for what happened. I have no idea, because I don't know her, and I don't know particularly what goes on in her head, because no one can know what's going on in someone's head. Yeah. But yeah, she was just looking glum on camera and things like that. And then some people have been wondering what's going on. And in fact, some people have been speculating that she's been crying in bed or something, but I have no idea. It's just, once again, sympathy. But then, of course, ITV then on Sunday came up with news saying that they are journalists and that they have every right to pass by the queue so they could do something. I think it was like a recording or something. But the thing with that little press thingy is that it wasn't even professional. Like, the thing is that if you ought to do like a professional apology, you should put it up on your social media pages in public. But what they did was, well, what the management for the Instagram page did was they put it on Instagram stories instead. Like, they knew Philip and Holly were doing the wrong thing and they just wanted to try and get it off of their head. Well, they're wrong. It's happening. And so all the comments I've been finding on the tabloid websites have been nothing but complaints. So, like, one person said, "I don't wish bad on anyone, however, I'd be extremely happy to see these two finally off the telly. They're everywhere. They got caught out. They're trying to say they're journalists when they're not. No point in backtracking. Everyone knows now that... Where's that petition?" Yes. There's a petition on change.org, I think it is, or some other site. Sorry if that's happening. I was just scratching my ear. It was itchy. Anyway, so there was a petition on change.org, I think it was, and it's got already some like 40,000 votes for Philip and Holly to be booted off this morning. Although they have said that they are not going anywhere. And I think probably why people are cross, other than the fact that they're miffed at them and the fact that is that they just appear everywhere. Like, you can't go on any show without seeing Holly on it, or Philip, but mainly Holly Willoughby. Like, even the Gladiators reboot is going to have her in it as a presenter. No surprise, it's because it's from her husband's company, Hungry Bear. But still, Holly is everywhere, no matter how unfitting she is for the show. Like, we won't forget the fact that she was the main presenter on Play to the Whistle when she didn't know much about sports, but she was just there for fan service. And let's see what else there is. Well, since yesterday, the petition's been increasing in size. 50,000 votes at the moment. And that's pretty much it to say about that. And then, of course, Ofcom's gained a lot of complaints as well for the show. I think everyone is not going to let them forget about this whole news. And even companies are doing it as well. Like, Domino's Pizza made fun of them. And then now the London Dungeons is making fun of them too. It just feels like just nothing but drama going on, and some TV presenters like X This Morning presenter Eamon Holmes, who's now on GB News, criticised them, but being honest, I think he didn't like those two anyway, so there you go. And then, let's see. So yeah, Piers Morgan defended them. You know, even Anne Hegarty from The Chase said something about them, but I don't know what it was because I haven't read it. Let's see. determined to face the criticism. Pretty certain they didn't do anything about it. Hugh Edwards dragged interview, and Holly Curo praises David Beckham for patience. So at least he defended what David Beckham did, where he queued for 15 hours, I think it was, and he didn't want to jump the queue because he said it would be disrespectful to the Queen, which I would definitely think was a good thing. And then they closed down, and then Philip and Holly closed their Instagrams down because they can't accept the hate. I think that this is going to continue talking about this, and it just... Holly will be forced to talk to a lawyer. Alright, I think that's it for my verdict on Q-Gate. There's a lot of things going on that I don't know about, a lot of things that have already happened, and what's going to go on with Philip and Holly? Have their careers been ruined? Are they going to become bad names now? Are they going to become less common than ever before? I have no idea. But being honest, what ITV should have done is they should have gave out an official apology, not a lame one where they defended them and saying they're journalists even though they're TV presenters, and overall they should have just and overall Philip and Holly should have just accepted the criticism and apologised to everyone and saying that they should not do something like that again, and just be respectful or something like that. And say if they're doing it for a TV programme, then that's fine, but still. Anyways, thanks for watching, and bye for now.
Hello there everyone, it's me Harry, and today I'm on the National Television Awards website. And why am I on the website, you may ask? Well, just tonight, midnight more like, the nominations have been confirmed. So, we're going to take a look at the nominations and see who they've nominated from a selection of all sorts. The website says, the NTA vote is open. Simply read through the list of contenders and tick one box in each category to select who you think you should win. Votes must be in by 12 midday by 15th September 2022. Blah, blah, blah. You can... And then it says, who wins is down to you. So they've got categories. So we're going to start. So starting off with best new drama. I'll be, of course, recording my reactions when the day rolls by, but I might do it as a live stream because I think that my reactions to it would be more funnier. So we got Time, This Is Going to Hurt, Heartstopper, and Trigger Point. Shows I have never heard of. Okay, that's interesting. Let's skip it and go over to Best Talent Show. The same nominations as last year, funnily enough. Masked Singer, RuPaul's Drag Race UK, Strictly, and Britain's Got Talent. Yeah, they actually went with the same stupid nominations as last year. Like, where's the, variety? In fact, let's see if I wonder if they've actually nominated it for... Let's have a look. If they've done the same nominations as they did in 2020. Let's see. Okay. There we are. Oh, they had different nominations that year. So 2021, they've got for that one. Yeah. Exact same nominations. Should I do it? Because I don't mind talent shows. No way. Best Authorised Documentary. Julia Bradbury, Breast Cancer and Me. Katie Price, What Harvey Did Next. Really? Why is she nominated again? She's got into so much trouble that she doesn't even deserve to be nominated. Like, why? Then we have Paddy and Christine McGuinness, Our Family in Autism. Tom Parker, Inside My Head. And Kate Gurray, Caring for Derek, the sequel to the other documentary she had. Interesting. I'm not gonna be voting. I'm only doing these for just so I can show everyone. There's 4 nods for Best Returning Drama. Call the Midwife, Peaky Blinders, The Split, and Bridgerton.
Okay then, that's interesting. But as I said, I'm not... I'm familiar with this one, and Call the Midwife, but not these two. As I said, because I'm so niche in what I like, I don't catch up with British television. I like watching the NTAs because of how bad they are. Next up, Best TV Presenter. This category again. Well, this time, we still have Bradders and Alison on there. But this time, Graham Norton's nominated. And of course, these two are. They're going to win. There's no doubt they're going to win. Because since the voting is always rigged for this category, Ant and Dec are always going to win no matter what. So yeah, I'm guessing they decided they didn't want to nominate Miss Willoughby this year. Even though she's appeared in too many shows. Anyways, Factual Entertainment. We have Gogglebox again. Clarkson's Farm, which hasn't been nominated yet. Bake Off and Paul O'Grady for Love of Dogs. So we have 3 nominations from last year, I think, and I think this is the first year Clarkson's Farm's been nominated. Best Drama Performance. So we have Cillian Murphy as Thomas Shelby for Peaky Blinders, Nicola Walker as Hannah for The Split, Vicky McClough as Lana Washington for Trigger Point, and Jonathan Bailey as Anthony Bridgerton for Bridgerton. So he basically plays the Tertulia character of the show. How funny. Interesting. Next up, the Bruce Forsyth Entertainment Award. So we have Graham Norton, we have Ant and Dec, we have I'm a Celebrity, and we have Taskmaster. So... are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? They went with the same nominations as last year. Seriously? They couldn't be bothered to stick with new nominations. They went with the same 4 as they did last year. Gosh. Let's go to the next one. Best Serial Drama. So we have... wow, Neighbours is nominated? I wonder if this is like some sort of attempt so that Neighbours can win after it ended. To show that us Brits still appreciate this show. Because the reason why it was still running is because Channel 5 funded the production for Fremantle Australia. Like, the show wasn't doing very well in its home country, but it was still doing quite well in the UK. And then when Channel 5 decided not to fund it anymore, Fremantle couldn't continue on. So the show got ended, and there you go. So yeah, it's nice that it's been nominated. And then we have the usual ones, EastEnders, Corrie and Emmerdale. Okay, that's interesting. I'm glad to see that something else has been... Now we have a new category, Best Expert. Oh yes. The classic David Attenborough. He's been nominated, yay! Then we have Caleb Cooper for Clarkson's Farm. We have Jay Blades for The Repair Shop, and Martin Lewis on his own Martin Lewis Money Show. So yeah, we have a few names I like. I've never heard of Caleb Cooper because I don't watch Clarkson's Farm. I think it's on Prime Video, I don't know, or Netflix, I have no idea. Next up, Best Serial Drama Performance. So we have Gallagher Wright as Jean Slater for EastEnders, Paige Sandadu as Mina Jutler for Emmerdale, Mark Charnock as Marlon Dingle for Emmerdale, and Rose Ailing Ellis as Frankie Lewis for EastEnders. So there's 2 EastEnders cast members and 2 Emmerdale cast members. Okay. That is not a good variety at all. 2 different soaps getting nominated for this category. So each one has a 50% chance of winning. Okay. Next up, quiz game show. Ah, one of my favourite categories. Well, Beat the Chasers is nominated again. 1% Club, I've never seen this one. Michael McIntyre's The Wheel's nominated again, and I think In for a Penny is as well. Let's check the thing, just so I can see. Yeah, it's nominated. So instead of Catchphrase this year, it's the 1% Club. But yeah, I've never seen this show, so I don't have any opinions on it. But I have seen the others. This show is good. I don't like Michael McIntyre, and this show is crazy because it's got Mulholland in it. Next up, Best Rising Star. So we have Charira Chamran as Edwina Shalman for Bridgerton, Paddy Beaver as Max Turner for Corrie, Joe Locke as Charlie Spring for Heartstopper, and Kit Connor as Nick Nelson for Heartstopper. So Heartstopper has a 50% chance of winning this category. So I'm guessing they're using this category to nominate the young stars, basically. Now we have 3 more categories. Best Daytime. So we have The Chase, which isn't a daytime show, it's a game show. Why is it still nominated in this category? We have The Repair Shop, we have Loose Women, and we have This Morning. This is another category that always gets rigged for This Morning to win. Let's see who was nominated last year, just so I can remember. Here we go again. They're seriously nominating the same shows again? 3 categories with the same shows. What is going on? Had to facepalm myself for the fact that they recycled the same shows. Please, I don't really want to watch the NTAs this year. The fact that they're doing the same things is... Who am I to judge? Okay. Comedy shows. Not Going Out, Sex Education, Afterlife, and Derry Girls. I don't like this category, skipping ahead. Last but not least, Best Talent Show Judge. RuPaul for RuPaul's Drag Race UK, Anton Dubeck for Strictly Come Dancing, Mo Gilligan for The Masked Singer, and David Williams for Britain's Got Talent. Yeah, I'm guessing they decided that they didn't want... Hang on, let me go back to the last category. Having a read. Okay. Just seeing if... Just having a look. Blah blah blah. Blah 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 blah. Blah blah blah. Well, I don't think they had this category last year, so never mind. And then there we are. That's it. That's it. Nothing else to say here. Other than the fact that it seems like that I can tell that the 27th National Television Awards are gonna be even worse than last year's. Like, where's the variety of the categories? Like, the fact that 3 of the categories in this year's NTAs have the same exact nominations. I don't... In fact, I'm actually feeling quite depressed now. In fact, I feel depressed the fact I can't even yell anymore without the fact that the NTAs still exist. Maybe it's time that I make my own awards ceremony. An awards ceremony that respects all kinds of things. Nah, too much pressure. I've got other things to worry about. Anyways, thanks for watching everyone, and bye for now.
The Dimples Light Up Wooden Vanity Table is a charming addition to any little one's bedroom. With real LED lights and lots of...
Hey guys, my name's Grumpy. And you're wondering, why am I like this? Well, it's a good reason why I am like this. I'm not how I normally am. I'm in my current design of plush. But the reason why is because I was on this morning, the TV show that's on every morning in the UK on ITV, for Christmas. I should have done this video earlier, but I forgot. Call me forgetful bear if you'd ask me. Anyways, let's see what the hosts have to say about me appearing on the show. Yep, I was there. And I mean it too. I was there. So, let's look.
Now we're about to travel into Christmas past with Steve Wilson because Retro...
Wow.
And just before it starts...
Cheer and share with Philip and Holly. Cool.
Our This Morning app.
That's good.
But all you have to do is click on Shop the Show. Obviously, you might have to be quite quick because...
Please, can you get on? I had to wait for this. Hey, look. There's me. There's me. And there's my good pal, the Pound Puppy, as well. Oh, look at me. I look so great sitting down with my grumpy face. I just look so amazing. And hey, look, there's my little figure as well. It's hard to be grumpy at this. I mean it. It's really hard to be grumpy. Just look at my little face. I look so cute. And my tuft of hair. I look so good on a computer screen because this is not TV. Oh, let's see what else there is because they're going to talk about my other friend, the Pound Puppy, as well.
There's a new TV show, and of course they're back, so that...
Hey! Yeah, it's Unlock the Magic! I was on there! I was on there before I transported to the real world! Oh, I miss Dibble.